Avery Wang. I'm one of the co-founders of Shazam, and I'm the one who created the technology. And I'm currently chief scientist still at Shazam, and I'm here to answer some questions.
Well, thanks. The first question is, can you explain the business model that Shazam has?
Well, the business model has really changed over the years. So currently we're monetizing music downloads, streaming, advertising, and partnerships with media companies. And I don't know if you want to hear about some previous business models that we've had.
Yeah, if you can.
Okay, well, it's kind of a long answer, but and I gave this in my talk in Concepcion. So when we first started out, we were trying to charge on a per recognition basis. You know, you hear a song and you do Shazam, and then we would charge you, in fact, quite a bit of money. It was about 80 US cents. And so, we got money, people paid us, and it was actually really too expensive for the users. But then we eventually switched to a subscription model in which people paid us maybe $4 a month and they could use it unlimited. And that actually increased our revenues dramatically, even though it was less money per recognition. It was because people used it more often, then it was overall more money, or more people used it, and so it was more money. And then we started selling the app, and then the app was pay once, about maybe $6 or $7, and then you could use it forever. So that was a lot less money than the subscription, but because it was an app store, it was widely distributed. And then eventually we went to a free model where we were then monetizing, advertising and music downloads. And then because it was free, it became extremely popular, and almost everybody had the app, several 100 million people. So that's kind of a roundabout answer. Basically, our business model or monetization has changed quite a bit over the years, and it will probably continue to change.
Okay, thanks. Can you please explain the principal innovation that you guys created to create more value into the market?
Well, at what point? I mean, the company's by now 16 years old, and there were a number of innovations over time. I guess in terms of technology as well as as a service. For example, when we first introduced the service, it was a dial-up service, and it was useful to users, and we had partnerships with primarily the mobile carriers. But then, as time evolved, we ended up we were a launch partner on the App Store, and then we actually many people told us that they bought iPhones because of Shazam. So we added value to Apple. And then, of course, the technology itself, we created it where there was no such technology before. So that's certainly value, and that was at the beginning. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, yeah, of course, yeah. Thanks. So another question is, how do you guys lead the innovation in the company inside? It's like one of the most important pillars that you have.
Well, like how do we continue to innovate, you mean, internally?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, we have a product team that defines, features that then are implemented, but we also have hack days where our engineers are allowed to spend a certain amount of their time coming up with ideas that are well, related to Shazam, but something that they want to work on. And some of our features have come out of that. It's like, not the product team doesn't necessarily think of all the ideas, and we also get ideas, I think, by observing the marketplace and seeing what niches need to be filled, and we'll think about how to integrate that into our product. And the innovation comes from many different areas, or just ideas. There's coming up with the ideas conceptually, and then there's also actually implementing the ideas.
Great, great. If you can define the organizational structure that you have in Shazam, for example.
Well, let's see. I guess we have over 200 people. We've got our sort of executive headquarters is based in New York, but the main company is based in London. And we have an R&D office in Redwood City in Silicon Valley. And various other offices around the world, sales and engineering, that kind of thing. So I'm not sure that's what you're looking for in terms of an answer.
Yeah, but in actually, if you can explain, for example, the interns relationship. For example, it's vertical, it is horizontal.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, it's kind of as currently a sort of a traditional, the CEO and then the executive team and then layers of management. But then, we try to keep it, sort of conceptually flat. So we have, exec team members sitting next to developers, and that kind of mixing. Like our offices have kind of a open kind of a feel. There's just desks and not really cubicles or offices. So I think the sort of philosophy is that people can then turn around and talk to each other.
Great, great, thanks.
Yeah.
Another question, Avery. How do you measure the impact for future innovation? For example, do you have like a program? Do you have like someone in the company that is measuring? Let's go for this area, or how you explain it is like a niche.
Right, right. Well, we have a data science team or data team, and we look at the usage patterns of our users, like what they do in the app, what they engage with, and we can tell trends. And if something's like if some numbers are going down, then obviously something's wrong, and then we'll stop doing that. Excuse me. So in other words, analytics.
Okay. How do you develop the meetings, internal meetings, for example? When do you process related to generating new products, or how you raise information, how you raise innovation, how you execute them, and how you test it in the market, for example?
I'm not sure what you mean. Like, how do we set up? How do we discuss? How do we physically set up meetings? Or
exactly. For example, it's like a big meetings, like 2-3 people, the one that can take decisions.
Well, it ranges anywhere from just 2 people turning around and talking to each other in their seats, or at the other end we have like somebody like the CEO giving an all hands meeting to the entire company. And then because we're distributed geographically, that we use video conferencing for that. But then also we have meeting rooms. I mean, this is pretty standard, but I guess one of the things we use also is we have chat rooms, and we've used a bunch of different platforms, but currently we're using Slack. They're you can create channels and have different discussions. You can do one-on-one versus like a whole team. Like we have channels on an individual basis, and we have a channel that addresses the entire company. Of course, there's a lot of noise on that.
Okay, great. Another question. For example, in Facebook, they told us that all of the presentations they had to develop it in our smartphones. It's because they're aiming into that strategy. How's the model? This model in Shazam, for example, you guys use it directly on your smartphones for the new presentations, or you just do it like a normal PPT?
Presentations? Oh, you mean like giving a presentation like a PowerPoint deck?
Yeah, exactly.
Cast iPhone.
For example, if your team needs to do like a presentation to you, like a PowerPoint presentation, you ask them or you tell them they have to do it in our smartphones. How you see the
well,
how you
that has been a big use case for us, as far as I know. I mean, I guess you could, sometimes we'll, I haven't really thought about this, but we sometimes send a PowerPoint deck in email or something, and it will just tap on it and then kind of go through it. In terms of a presentation, there was one time I tried to cast a PowerPoint deck to a big screen, and it failed. Like in a meeting, I was trying to show do a slideshow, and then it just completely, it was all garbled.
Well, next time you'll have a better luck.
Yeah, but we do have, like based on desktop, we'll do, there have been various things. There's some various apps, like some kind of video conferencing thing that you can show slides on. We do all kinds of things. We also do like Skype, screen sharing, if we have to show some slides. And there are other platforms. Like I don't think we've settled on any particular platform. It's whatever works.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Another question, changing now, going to human resource. Mm-hmm. What do you look when you, in terms of hiring new people?
Well, I think we look for what anybody would look for, good, smart people who are who can get along with everybody. I think that's basically. It varies from time to time. It depends on who's interviewing and what the position is. I'm not sure how to answer the question precisely.
For example, it's in a specific area or a specific quality when you hire someone besides being smart and having a good time and being friendly with everyone. So like in a specific topic that you guys have like an internal characteristic, for example?
I'm not sure there is any particular one. I think, again, it depends on the position. It depends on who's doing the interviewing and hiring. Yeah, I don't think we have any. Well, we may, but I'm not. I don't. I'm kind of ignorant. I'm not sure we have any particular set of criteria. There may be a couple. I know companies like Google, like from time to time, they have different policies. Like I think you had to go to have a good GPA and that kind of thing. But I'm not sure we necessarily have that. Like in fact, in the past, one of our vice presidents has said something like he'd rather hire a B student than an A student because a B student may actually be more focused, especially if it's like the person is lopsided, like somebody who's a real techie but not necessarily good at in other areas. I guess what he's more concerned about is whether the person can do the job rather than if the person is a well-rounded, 4.0 student, with a good GPA. Yeah, sorry, I'm just kind of rambling. But yeah, I don't know if we have any set guidelines in terms of who we hire. It's just largely based on the need, like who's doing the interviewing. It depends on the position.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And the last question. We don't want to take more time of you. If you guys measure the impact in a social level, for example, in relations with your providers, the other companies in the same industry or sector,
Mm-hmm.
and the relations, for example, with different laws in other countries.
So different laws. Oh, like
Yeah.
privacy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the same thing.
In terms of social networking, or yeah, well, like I said, we collect data, and the analysis we do, we take privacy very seriously, and in fact, we're potentially or possibly over conservative on privacy, which kind of prevents us from doing certain types of analytics, I guess. But we're looking for network effects. We're looking for songs that music tastemakers. Like, are there any cities that pick up a song before it becomes popular, like on a regular basis, and stuff like that. So we're looking at the data that we have. In terms of laws, let's see. Well, yeah, of course, we conform to the strictest laws that there are around the world. I'm not sure that really answers the question.
Yeah. Actually, it did. Well, Avery, thank you very much. I don't want to take more time.
Oh, no problem.
The agenda. No, it's great talking to you. Great seeing you, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll give you more information once we get directly to the US.
Mm-hmm.
And let's try to meet, obviously, catch up and
Yeah.
see if things can still be working and expanding.
Right. Yeah. So you're going to be in Silicon Valley sometime soon?
Yeah, actually, we're planning a trip in the 30th of September.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, so probably want to be there like a week and a half. So actually, we're trying to meet and see everyone that has been here and have traveled. So
Right.
obviously, we're gonna contact you and hang around and chill and drink some beers and piscola.
Excellent.
Yeah, of course.
Good.
Great seeing you, my friend. A big hug, and hope to see you soon. And thank you very much for the.
Anything I can help with?
Yeah, me too. So a big hug and nice seeing you.
All right. I'll see you.
Bye bye. Take care. See you.
Yep.
Ciao.